How on earth do you beat Manchester City? Manchester City are going for an unprecedented 5 in a row.
Yep.
Nobody's won 4 in a row before, and they've done that. I'm inclined to say 5 in a row is impossible, but nothing is impossible for Guardiola, it seems. So if anyone is going to stop them, who's it going to be? How do you do it? And realistically, is there only one side capable of actually stopping Guardiola in his tracks?
There's one side that could do it, and it's the Allegations FC. That's it. If we can get them some points deductions, if we can get them in something.
Oh, is that where you're going?
It's a football podcast.
Only thing.
You started with A. I thought you meant Arsenal.
It's
They're a real
boring.
football club. What have you got? A law degree?
Come on, 6 out of the 7 titles have gone to Man City in the last. It's going to be the same again.
It's called sporting excellence.
I mean,
the Olympics are on at the moment. You should check that out as well.
I don't think, John. I don't
Sporting
think
summit.
that if I'm not necessarily sure I agree with you, but if we do agree that the only way that Manchester City don't win the league is effectively a ruling, that won't stop them.
No, it probably won't.
I
stop
don't
them
think
this
there's
year.
a ruling
It probably
that's
won't
going to stop
them.
City.
I mean, it's a ruling, or if we want to be more pragmatic and talk about football, I think it's Arsenal getting a striker. If Arsenal get an Isak or someone who hits the ground running for them, 25 goals a season, that's the only thing.
Is it only Arsenal? Because Arsenal were the main challenger. Arsenal finished second 2 seasons in a row. So it's important to acknowledge that they're going to be the contender. 2 points last season, it's not insurmountable. We'll talk about them in a minute. But let's just go through this. Is there anyone else? Buvey, even from your perspective, do you have the fear for Liverpool? Do you believe Chelsea can surprise you? Is Manchester United going to stop you in your tracks? Is there an outsider that I'm not thinking of here? Tottenham Hotspur. Is there a world where someone else... Is there a 3-horse race? Let's put it that way.
No.
Man
no
City
way.
are going to be there and thereabouts. Arsenal are going to be there or thereabouts. Is there anyone else?
No. I look at all the other sides. Spurs, Chelsea, Man United, Villa aren't anywhere near. Newcastle, all these other sides, the big clubs in the top 10, they're nowhere near Arsenal, Man City.
I think Man City are different. Who do you think finishes third in the league? Liverpool,
Man United might have a go as well, for sure. Maybe it's an outside club. Maybe Villa again. They got a better manager than Man United and
so
Liverpool, in my
if Liverpool
opinion.
finish third, do you just think that there's a chasm between the top 2 then Liverpool?
Yeah, I think there's a chasm between Arsenal and City. I think the only way City lose the title next season is internal kind of...
De Bruyne goes.
Internal issues. And maybe Guardiola's new contract, if he signs a new contract, stays longer than we ever thought. Maybe there's this kind of revolution within Guardiola. He wants to create a third version of the City side that he's built. And that allows Arsenal to come in their prime to do it now. But if City play our way with the quality of players we currently have in the squad as we're sitting here, we'll win the league 5 times in a row. We're better than Arsenal.
Imagine if they win it 5.
We're better than Arsenal.
But Buvey, can I ask you, as a City fan, worried about losing De Bruyne and Ederson? I keep seeing that. De Bruyne and Ederson linked to Saudi moves. De Bruyne said if a lucrative offer came in, it's a lot of money, it'd be hard to turn down.
He didn't really play last year, not that often.
But
He was crucial.
I'm just asking
he
the
said 2
question.
points. It's like, where do the 2 points come from? I remember watching at St James's Park. De Bruyne comes on his second appearance of the season after 6 months out. He whips that ball in for Oscar Bob. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, without that Arsenal win the league.
I know,
So
but
it's
the
huge.
reason you are
two,
correct.
lads.
It's a very good example to use. But the reason why I believe that would have happened anyway is because whatever player you'd have brought on that day would have done something.
But that was
spectacular.
special. That was fine margins.
Agreed. But let's say that De Bruyne wasn't an option that day. Guardiola would have done something else brilliant. He would have brought on Alvarez, and Alvarez would have nicked the winner. Do you know? Like,
Who had quite a poor season. That's the issue. Like, he had a poor season. The issue is last season we lost 2 in a row, and it was Gundogan and Mahrez in the same summer. You can't lose 4 in 2 seasons because then it'd be Ederson and De Bruyne, Mahrez and Gundogan. It's
unless you buy
heavy on the squad.
Unless
in
you
my
buy.
opinion.
You've just bought that winger in from one of your other clubs.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him in
little
terms
cheat
of
code that you got him in through.
Well,
buying him
paid
for
a good
Girona
price,
and
a
getting
good
him
price
from
in market conditions.
A good
Obviously, we're living in a
price,
cost of living
it is when you
crisis.
pay yourself.
Yeah.
Millions of pounds for a footballer. It's crazy in today's market. So City spent the money. And if you lose your first choice keeper, I think Ederson's the one that goes right under the radar for a lot of people. Ortega's a fantastic backup, but as a shot stopper to win the Premier League title, Ederson's right up there. He's just below Cech and Van der Sar and
do you sign a
Schmeichel.
new keeper if Ederson
No,
does?
it's Ortega.
You think it
next
will be
season.
Ortega?
And do you remember that save he made against Son at Spurs?
Yeah,
Won the
He's,
league.
he's
Won the league,
fantastic.
yeah.
But you know when you bring a new keeper in, yes, Mendy showed great signs for Chelsea for a year. Then he fell off.
Yeah.
Could Ortega do that? Edison's trusted. You could have Edison there for 5 more years. He's only 30 years old.
I don't think I know there's speculation
world
about
class.
it, John. I know there is speculation. I'm fully across that. I just don't see it happening. Whereas with De Bruyne, I can see De Bruyne leaving. I just can't see Edison going. He's too young. He's too needed. He's too in his prime. Look, as good as De Bruyne is, as special as De Bruyne is, I don't think that City... Two negatives, right? I don't think that City can't cope with De Bruyne because of the brilliance of Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Phil Foden is capable of creating in the way that De Bruyne can also create. So I don't think it's the end of the world. There's also, look, you know, if in terms of the creativity that you lose from De Bruyne, okay, Phil Foden's not as good as De Bruyne, but Phil Foden will create enough. Then obviously Bernardo Silva will create enough. I imagine Jeremy Doku will have a more impressive season than he had last year. Yeah. You less convinced?
No, I love Doku, but it's water and wine, isn't it? I mean, if you lose you're losing a generational player. I mean, I'm talking top 5 midfielders in the history of the league, in my opinion, in terms of talent. We can debate his legacy, whatever.
I don't think that's controversial.
So in terms of talent, if you have to sign someone quality. Now we've been linked to Musiala. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but we've signed Kovacic last season. He's been linked to Turkey, which says it all. Nunez is absolutely shocking. He's had a shocking season. I don't think he can elevate himself enough.
Not spoken about enough, is it? No. Guardiola's ability is never in doubt, but his ability at navigating the transfer market has at times been woeful.
Phillips?
Allowing Cole Palmer to leave. Allowing Cole Palmer to leave.
Calvin Phillips didn't work. Yeah,
no, but there's so many lads. There's so many. He brought in Stones, Laporte. He brought in Erling Haaland.
No, but for every Stones,
Edison. No, but there isn't. It's about 5-1 in good to bad, in my opinion. About 5-1. Some of the Carl Walker. He made that decision. Carl Walker. Do you know what I mean? Nathan Ake's fantastic.
No, but I mean, there were the two fullbacks that didn't work in the same summer, wasn't there?
Well, one was for outside of sporting reasons. Carl Walker came in that season. Danilo actually had a good season. He scored a goal against Burnley to help us get over the line our first ever season to win the Premier League under Guardiola. So he last season, you're right, but previously he's made very big decisions. Sane.
So what we're talking about here, then, it seems, is that the only way that we stop City is a gentle homage to sporting integrity, which I don't think is a reality, and then Arsenal Football Club.
Arsenal Football
Club. In
that
case, I hope you win the league. But I think you won't.
They still need... Look, Calafori's fantastic. They're going to do black and white images on Instagram and it looks like he's Marlon Brando. Oh, no, it's fine. It's beautiful. That's beautiful, Rory. No, it's fine. Apocalypse Now and all that. He looks very moody, beautiful, yeah? But... they still need a powerful striker that makes defences shit themselves every single Saturday night.
Do they? Why?
Of course.
Okay, why? I disagree.
Because every top side...
How many goals did they score last year?
Loads.
Why do they need to sign a goal scorer?
Because the margins of the goal... Okay, they might have put 4 or 5 past Sheffield United, home and away, fine, whatever it was. Yeah. The margins against City, if they scored a big goal against City in either of the game, in the away game at the Etihad as an example, I think Chelsea, they dropped points at Chelsea, didn't they? There's loads of games... a big, powerful Osman-like striker, I'm not saying that he's the guy, or an Ivan Toney, gets them over the line. It's not about if...
So if you were to say, where do...
goals against fucking,
So do you believe then, if you were to say, so pretend you're an Arsenal fan, and you one player to change their fortunes next season, you believe it's an iconic centre-forward?
Powerful centre-forward.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it is. That's what it comes down to. But you're throwing names out there. You can't. I don't think Ivan Toney wins in the league. Do you think if Arsenal get Ivan Toney?
I think he does. League? That with the combination of Calafiori, maybe the other lad they're bringing in, Moreno.
I don't think they need a centre-forward as much as you... Look, everybody needs a centre-forward. Everybody needs Ivan Toney. But if I were to say one position they need to strengthen, I actually don't. I think it was the left-back position, which they've done, which is very impressive. The Zinchenko didn't work. That other geezer, Kiwior, didn't work. This is proper Calafiori. And... it's the midfield. It's the fact that they were trying to utilise Kai Havertz there that didn't work. And let's also... I can say this. Thomas Partey is a phenomenal footballer. I think on his day, I think he's one of the best footballers in his position in the world. I think he's a sensational player.
Yeah.
He's not going to play enough football for them. So what they need is someone robust, someone big, someone who is a little bit Declan Rice-like for that middle. They're going to score enough goals, you know. Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Jesus.
They score enough against Man City.
They took 4 points off City. They took 4 points off City.
Yeah, but 4 out of 6. I know it's critical, but we're talking about the highest level of sport.
Yeah, but you took 1.
Yeah, but City have got the experience to say, this season we didn't need to beat Arsenal home and away. And I wish we had, because we were poor in those games and it was risky for us to win the league. But previous seasons, we've taken points off of Alex Ferguson's Man United, off of Conte's Chelsea, and Arsenal have yet to do that.
That was a funny moment there, because I went...
4 out of 6, but that's 80%.
They took 4
but you're talking about the greatest side of all time, arguably, in the Premier League. Arguably.
Yeah.
The greatest manager.
Yeah.
So
well,
what are the standards?
It's 4 in a row.
So what are the standards? You beat them at the Etihad. And we were vulnerable that day. We were vulnerable.
City's good.
In life, history repeats itself. In football, history repeats itself. And the whole time you two have been arguing there, you were talking about Ivan Toney. They need a striker. They need someone like that. This gives me, when Manchester United went out and got Robin van Persie, and he scored whatever he scored,
He won the league for them
goals.
before Christmas.
He won the league. Do you think Ivan Toney is Robin van Persie for this Arsenal side? He comes in and he scores 25 goals. He scores diving headers from the edge of the box.
Do you know
No, but
why
he's
I
not
think,
that
John,
player.
John, do you know why I think he is?
That's the player they need.
Can I
That's the
demonstrate
player
why I
that
think he
Arsenal
is?
need.
This is an interesting
need that.
point here. I think this is a good point. The reason why I think he is comparable to Van Persie, calm down, give me a second, let me at least land it. The reason why I think he's comparable to Van Persie isn't because of the brilliance of Toney. Van Persie is leaps and bounds a better footballer than him, but football has deteriorated so much that at the time when Arsenal had Robin van Persie up front, Robin van Persie was probably the third or fourth best striker in the league. He went to Manchester United and he won them the league. Ivan Toney is currently the best third or fourth striker in the league. There aren't four better strikers than Ivan Toney in the
spot
league.
on.
There aren't three better. So they're going out and they're not signing a player of Van Persie's quality, but they're signing a player of Van Persie's prowess
Van
in the
Persie
league.
was more accomplished than Toney is now.
Of course,
stage in their
but in
careers.
terms
He's
of-
won stuff with Arsenal.
Plus, Arsenal's
scored
standard
more
is a lot
goals.
higher, 'cause-
He played at Arsenal, a bigger club for 10 years.
But Roy's
So I
listed
understand
off
what
6
you're
or
saying.
7 players that can score 15, 10 to 15 goals, Trossard and all that. Saka's a world-class player in my opinion.
No.
So they don't need Van Persie in the same way. Man United needed Van Persie because they had an old, decrepit side and they just sludged over the line.
Yeah.
But Arsenal,
Also, who's the best striker in the league? Haaland.
Yeah.
Who's the second best striker in the league?
Ollie Watkins.
Okay, I'd go Isak.
He's better than-
But okay, Isak, Watkins, Toney.
Son.
There's definitely not. Do you think Son today is better than Toney today?
yeah, just about. But he's
See
he's
what I
fourth
mean,
or
though?
fifth. He's fourth or
Yeah.
fifth.
Yeah.
Easily fourth or fifth.
It will be interesting to see.
They just
Football's
need,
easy,
it doesn't
isn't it?
have
You
to
just
be-
want to bang
I
goals.
don't mean to dig out Toney. I think he's a brilliant player. I just mean they need someone. And at that time, Van Persie went in and he put the club on his back. I don't think Toney's got that.
No, Robin van Persie is 10 times the footballer that Ivan Toney will ever be on his best day. Robin van Persie, the quality of touch, the quality of goals. I saw one the other day. The first touch is just mental.
left foot
When it
magic.
comes over, he pulls it down with the most exquisite first touch. I think it might have been against West Ham. You've got to look the goal up. He takes the first touch, like as it comes over his shoulder, into his path, away from the defender. It's at far post.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
Absolutely
I saw that. Yeah,
amazing,
I saw it on
right?
Twitter,
It's in the cup, I think, against West Ham United.
Yeah.
Ivan Toney never scored a goal like that in his life. But football
He's not far off. Okay, he's not Van Persie, but in terms of his attributes, what are they? They are bringing the ball down under pressure, big in the air. He is a good goal
Yeah,
scorer.
he
He scored nearly 20 goals in the league in his first season for Brentford, I think it was.
He's got a
Obviously,
hat-trick at City as well, like in terms of
Yeah,
doing it on the biggest
exactly.
stage. That penalty for England,
And do you
that
think he
impact
deserves
against
He
Slovakia.
deserves a chance. I just think they need I think if we're talking,
what do you
if we're
think?
scaling
Osimhen?
it back to how do we stop City from winning the league, it's a on-form Osimhen signing.
Okay, go on then.
It's a Isak signing. Someone who's I just think
Isak,
is
yeah.
going to be that player, and I just don't think he's that.
But we're basically saying that it's a bit depressing. It's guaranteed 2-horse race, and at least 2 of the 3 of us around the table believe that City are going to win 5 in a row.
It's Man United's fault. It's Man United's fault. It's Chelsea's fault. It's Spurs' fault.
I don't disagree with
The
that.
league should be so much better than it is.